Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's National Silver Academy e-Nugget series. I am your host for today, Mr. Alan Tay, also the head trainer from Shohu. We'd like to thank NSA for this opportunity for us to share more about mobile phones through this series. And without further ado, we are going to talk about today's topic, which is video editing using smartphone. And to begin, in the next slide, we have a simple question for you. Have you ever created a movie with your mobile phone before? So you can make a poll on Facebook now saying yes or no. And of course, I think most of us will think like, wow, isn't like making movies or doing video editing something really difficult and like professional. We need to use like very good software, need computers and all the different equipment just to do that. And also, most of us wouldn't think of like, wow, I can do my own little video that I can be as good as those that you see out on TV or even on YouTube that you see these days. And the good news is that mobile phones now are so good that we have a lot of very simple to use apps that later we'll share with you too that you can use to do these different functions and create your very own movie yourself. So, not to worry, let's see. So we have an answer that says most of you say no. So, not to worry, and that's why we have this series for you, right? So, this is a very good episode for you to watch. So, next, I just want to share with you something interesting. This is a short video clip that I have created myself without using a single editing tool. And this video shows you of two very simple things. The first one is actually a video of me building up a little section of wooden blocks, like a little house. And I start throwing these blocks into a bin itself, like that. That's the first one. And you can see that I've done this really, really slowly. And in fact, I'm just doing it in a slow motion, throwing it into the bin itself. And that's the first video. If you see the next video that's coming, it's actually me popping a water balloon in a really, really quick video here. You can see it just gets popped and it's gone. So we have two videos that you see here I've recorded that is not edited. And now let's look at this. This is a video that I have edited. And you can see what you can actually do just by using video editing. So the first one you can see, I can slow down the motion of the water balloon and in fact reverse it. And now you can see this magical thing where the blocks actually flies to my hand instead through the bin and lands up on the floor and I start stacking them up into the wooden house that I created earlier. So these are two very quick videos that I'd like to share with you that you can do just by using your own mobile phone. So we're going to learn that in a moment. But before we come to that, I'd like to share with you the next part that you will see, which is whether using your smartphone is a smart choice for doing video editing. So this is a quick comparison between computers and also using your phone. Of course, using your desktop or your laptop is a wiser choice for the fact that the screen is bigger, so you can see more things, and it's easier for you to also use the different functions. But of course, that will require you to have better knowledge of using the computers and also understanding how software works in a certain way. And so maybe it's harder for you to learn right away. The good news is that although these software usually are on computers, now on the mobile phones, you can find a lot of different versions of these video editing software also on the phone itself. And those functions that you may see on the computer are also kind of available on the phone too. And in fact, they have even made it easier for you to understand and easier for you to use. But of course, you will realize later if you do the hands-on with me that one of the biggest hindrance is the fact that our screens are smaller and our fingers are pretty huge, right? So we may not be that easy for you to tap on some of the buttons, but not to worry, we will go step by step. So you can actually join us in learning these steps. In the next slide, you will actually see a chart that I've done for you. This is not all the apps that you can find out there, but these are apps that you can find both in the App Store or the Play Store, depending on the phone that you're using. But before you go download any of these video editing apps, I would just like to share with you three key points to actually be aware of before you do any downloads. You'll see that I have three columns here. There is free, there is in-app purchase apps, and there's also paid apps. And what are the differences? Basically, if you were to download any free apps, you will be able to use all the functions in there for free. But in some cases, you may see some advertisements in there for them that you may want to avoid clicking on. So just beware when you download free apps like these. In the second column, you can see it says in-app purchases. What this does is that you are allowed to install these apps for free still, but just beware that some of these functions in there will only be made available to you if you actually, for example, pay for the extra effect or, for example, a subscription service. And of course, we have the last one, which is really, really simple, right? Which is the paid version. So all you need to do is just pay and you can use it forever. So these are the three main categories that you will see. The other thing to also take note of is that some of these apps may only be available on, for example, the Apple phone and not available on the Android phones. So if you have an iPhone, you may have a larger number of apps you can try out. But if you are using an Android phone, you may have lesser options or even more options sometimes, depending on the software company that makes these apps. So in the next page, I would like to invite you to join us to learn today's video editing app, which is this app called Meitu. And I think if some of you who are familiar with Meitu will have realized that, hey, isn't Meitu the one that we use for doing the photo editing stuff? But what you didn't maybe realize is that actually Meitu has a really good video editing function. And in fact, it's so good that a lot of the features are also free. So it's easy for you to use and learn. So if you'd like to join me, you can go to your App Store if you're using the iPhone or the Play Store if you're using the Android phone to install and download into your phone now. And also, if you want to join me using the same videos, you can WhatsApp to 8809 7075 and we will WhatsApp the two videos that you've seen earlier so you can actually try out the same actions or the same tools we're going to use later today. In the next slide, I'm going to start showing you the starting point of doing this Meitu app video editing. So in this app, when you open it, you will see the startup screen like this. And in there, you will see 6 distinct buttons. And there will be this button that says video editing. And of course, you can see that Meitu actually has a lot of photo editing functions, as you can see in these 6 buttons. But one of these buttons is actually a video editing button that we're going to use. So without further ado, I'm going to do a demonstration right in front of you now so you can see exactly what to do. So here is the phone that I'm using. I'm using an iPhone here. Not to worry if you're using an Android phone because Meitu works pretty much the same whether you are using an iPhone or Android phone. So I'm going to do a step-by-step process. Not to worry if you can't follow us all the way today because this video will be uploaded later and you can also follow the steps one by one. Okay, so we're going to start off now by actually entering our Meitu app. I'm just going to tap on the Meitu app. And you can see it starts to load up like this. And it takes us to the main page of Meitu, which is the starting page. Not to worry about the top section where you see some kind of advertisement. These are campaigns where they have usually new effects or stickers and some nice new stuff that they display here. What's important is actually to look at the middle section where you can actually see some buttons there. And of course, you can see 4 main buttons, the photo edit or the collage or the retouch button here. So where can we find the video edit button? That is actually hidden at the right side of this screen. So what you need to do is actually to take your finger and just slide your finger along the middle section towards the left, and you can now see the video edit button appear just at the top right corner. It's in purple, so it's pretty distinct and you can find it pretty easily. And so if you're going to start a new video editing project, we will need to tap on this button. And so I'm going to go ahead and tap on it now. So once you tap on it, it will take you to your gallery. And of course, most of our galleries consist of our photos and our videos. So it's sometimes pretty hard for you to find your videos, right? So I'm going to show you a very simple technique that can allow you to find your videos immediately. If you look at the top of this screen here, you'll find 4 words there. The first one says all, the second says video, and then photos and video draft. So if you're just looking for videos, you can actually just tap on the button that says video. So I'm going to tap on that. And once you tap on that, you realize that all the photos that you've seen earlier in the gallery disappears. And all you're left with now is just your gallery videos. So now if you scroll through your videos, you will see it's just all the videos you can find on your phone. And how do you know they are videos? It's pretty simple. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner of each of these videos, you will notice a little number there. That number represents how long that video is. So that's like the duration of your video. And of course, now I'm going to use 2 videos that I recorded earlier. The first one would be the stacking blocks that I've shown you. So you just give it a light tap. And the second one is my water balloon video here. So I'm going to just tap on the water balloon video. And how do you know you have successfully selected them? Very simply, you can see them appearing at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. So I have 2 video clips now selected. And just a little hint or a little tip for you. Sometimes you may accidentally tap on the same video twice, like what I'm doing now. You will realize that you will see 2 identical videos appear at the bottom left. So not to worry, what you can do is that if you see that they have 2 identical videos, you can remove one of them by just tapping on the X that you see at the top right corner of the video clip. Okay, so I'm just going to tap on that. You can see now I'm back to just 2 video clips itself. And so we have selected our video clips and we want to do edits to them. How do we begin? Very simply, you can see at the bottom right, there is a blue button that says start. And I'm going to tap on this button now to proceed to edit our project. Once you've done so, you will realize that you are brought to a new page. And this page is actually the main video editing page. We will be seeing quite a lot of functions here. And it's also important for you to understand what you are looking at. And hence, I'm going to take you through this page or this screen from top to bottom. The first thing you'll notice is that the top left and right corners, there are 2 arrows. One's on the top left and one's on the top right. If you want to go backwards, where we've seen the gallery earlier, you can tap on the top left arrow. The top right arrow, you can see that there is a word there that says save and share. That top right arrow is actually for you to save your whole project if you have completed your whole editing. So that is kind of like the last button we're going to press, and I'm going to show you later too what you can do with it. You do realize that there's a little square on the right side too, and that if you tap on it, it will display just the video itself. So it's just a way for you to view your video without all that functions hindering your view. In order to go back to the functions you've seen earlier, just tap on the cross on the top left. And we'll be back again, just like this. And of course, you can see in the middle, we have our video view. That's what you are seeing now, which is where our video is. This is also where you will see all the final edits of your video here. So later, when we start doing some of these editing, you will see the final output right at this section here. Okay. Next, if you go down lower in the middle area, you can see a small triangle on the left side. And that's the play button, which I think most of us may have seen that while maybe you're watching YouTube and all that. If you tap that triangle, of course, it will start playing the video just like this. So you can see my hands throwing the bricks into the bin. And if you tap that same area, it will pause the video too. So that is a play pause button that you can use. And of course, if you look towards the right, you will see a white dot. Do you see that white dot? It kind of moved a little, right? And there's this white line that spans across the left to the right of the screen. And that actually represents the timing of where your video has played to with that white dot. And how do you know what time is that? You can actually see it by just reading the number on the left side. And you can see it says 9 seconds at the moment. So that's what it means. And of course, if you look towards the right, you see another set of numbers, right? It says 35. And that represents the total length of my video now at 35 seconds. So this is how you read this section. It's extremely important to know where you are because video editing is a lot to do with the timing of your video and where you want to do the edits. If we look down further, you will see three distinct squares. And on the left, you can see the blue square, right, with the plus sign. And on the right side, you can see two video clips there, which is the ones that we have selected. This is the point where if you forgot a video or a photo that you want to add, you can always just tap on the plus sign here to take you back to your gallery. So let me just show you. If you tap the plus sign, it takes you back to the gallery. And here, if let's say you missed out a video, you can then select the one that you want. So for example, let me just tap on videos. And let's say I select this other video here. And I can then press the button on the right side that says start. And you can see now it adds that video into my collection. So now you can see 3 squares instead of 2, which means 3 different video clips. And if you were to put your finger around the video clips and just slide across, you will also notice there's this white line there that doesn't move, right? But the video clips are moving, just like what I'm doing now, sliding left to right. And what this actually represents is the line is where the timing you are at in your video. So you can see now as I stop at this point, I am at my second video clip while I'm actually at the 28 second represented by the line on top. So that's how you read the timing and also understand which video clip you are at while you are doing your editing. And very lastly, you can see, wow, there's a lot of icons at the bottom, right? Like there's a pair of scissors on the bottom left. There's these little circles on the icon. There's a beauty or retouch icon. There's text. In fact, there are so many controls here that you can use that if you use your finger to slide the bottom row, you'll find that there are more options on the right side. So you can see, wow, you see there are many functions here. And of course, due to time constraints, we will not be able to cover every single icon here. So what we're going to do now is they're going to share with you 3 different distinct features that are interesting for you to do your own video editing. And the 3 functions I'm going to share with you today are speed, reverse, and this thing called transition effects. So I'm going to guide you step by step to doing this, so not to worry. And the first step we're going to do is that we're going to go into this place called Edit. And where can you find this Edit button? It is at the bottom left of your screen. As you can see here, it represents is represented by a scissors icon there. So I'm going to tap on this scissors here. Once you tap on that Edit button, it takes you to a slightly different screen here. Do you see? It's like kind of different. What you'll notice is your video is still on the top, not a problem. But in the middle, you can see that those squares that we have that represent our video clip is now flattened into a long strip. And this long strip, if you use your finger to just slide through, you can notice that, wow, you see, it's a pretty long strip, right? It's like all the way across and just right here. So as you scroll through or you just slide through, you'll notice the white line is still in the middle. And you can also notice that we are transiting between different video clips as we slide through, just like that. So it's important to know which video clip you want to edit. So you have to slide to the video clip itself. So for example, like this video clip that we have here. Okay, so that is the first video clip. So this is the water balloon bursting video clip here. And what I'm going to show you here in the first function is, if I play this video clip now for the water balloon, do you notice that it bursts really, really fast like this? Wow, you see that? So how are we going to do a slow motion effect so you can slow down this whole motion of the water balloon? And that function is using this button that is called speed. As you can see here at the bottom of our screen, we have a whole series of icons and buttons that you can use to do editing with. And the second icon at the bottom left, you can see is represented by a star sign. That is the first button we're going to learn today, called speed. If you tap on the button, it will show you a meter in the middle or the bottom row of the screen. It's pretty faint, so I hope you can see it. It's this blue line here that you see. You can see that at the number that we have now, it says 1.0x. That represents the original speed of my video. So in fact, this function allows you to speed up your video and slow down the video at the same time if you want to. So what you can do here is that if you tap onto the meter and you just drag along the line, you can increase the speed to 4 times the speed of the video. As you can see, it's repeating multiple times at the top here just to show you what it looks like. So if I play again, oh my gosh, it's so fast you can't even see the balloon bursting, right? So that's the wrong thing we want to do. What we want to do is we want to slow down this whole motion. So what you need to do now is actually move this meter all the way towards the left. So the fastest speed you can increase is 4 times the speed of the video, while the slowest you can go to is 5 times the original speed of that video. You can see now. Wow, do you see the bursting of that balloon now and the water flowing down? And in fact, can you hear the sound? It's like it really slows down the sound too. So you get this really dramatic effect of the water falling to the ground. Let's see that one more time. There it goes. Whoa. Oh, sounds like a big puddle of water, right? So that's what you can do. And in fact, if you look really carefully, you can actually know how long this video has been increased. If you look just right above the meter, there's a word that says duration. It's just right below the word that says standard. You can see 4.1 seconds. That's the original timing. And now because we have extended it, it's now 20 seconds long. And that's how you can slow down your video and create that slow motion effect for your video itself. And of course, one important thing about editing here is that in Meitu, after you have done that change, you have to confirm the change. And how do you confirm that? You have to tap on the tick that is found at the bottom right of your screen. And that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to tap on it. And you can see now we have successfully lengthened and slowed down that balloon popping video. You can also see that the strip for this video has really been extended. See, it's really long now, right? It was a lot shorter earlier. So that's what's interesting about it. Okay. And the next one I'm going to learn is this thing called reverse. So this one, I'm going to come to the first video that we have here, which is our video of our building blocks. So I'm just going to play this video just to show you again. You can see what I'm doing now is I'm taking the wooden blocks and throwing it into the bin. So I'm going to pause this here for a moment. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually do this effect called reverse. And what it does is that it will flip this whole video upside down, not really upside down, but left to right. So what it does is that instead of me throwing the blocks into the bin, the blocks are going to fly into my hand instead. So this is a very easy function. All you need to do is to scroll to the video clip that you want to do this effect. And you can just tap on the video clip once. You can see now it's highlighted in blue. And at the bottom of the screen, look for the button that says reverse. That icon is represented by a mini arrow in the middle with a rotating circle around it. So just be careful of what you are seeing. If you can read the word reverse, that will be the correct one. Okay, so I'm going to tap on that button now. You can see it's starting to process the whole video. And what it's going to do is it's going to reverse this whole video's order so you can see the blocks flying to my hand instead. Just be careful too that if you use this function, it will remove the sound that is coming from that video originally. So there'll be no sound anymore. So let's see. It's done. And I'm going to just replay the video now and let's see what happens. Do you see that? The blocks are flying to my hand instead. And I'm putting it onto the floor like that. Wow, you see? So it's like magic. So this is just one use case you can use it for. So you can imagine you can do things like, imagine you're jumping from the table or somewhere else. You can look like you can fly up to a certain area just by reversing your video in this little technique that you can use. And of course, the slowing down of the balloon here, or the bursting of the balloon itself. Okay. And here, once you're done with these edits, like what I mentioned earlier, it's important to confirm the editing. And hence, you need to go to the bottom right of your screen and look for the tick over there. And just give it a light tap to confirm. Like I'm going to do it now. And now we have confirmed the function itself. So we have just learned two functions. We're going to learn one last one here today, and that's called transition effects. And what's transition effects? Basically, if you look at my two video clips that I have here, one video clip, while it moves to the next video clip, all it does is it just goes to the next video clip, right? So that is sometimes a little bit boring, and you want to make it like a little bit more exciting. So I think if you've seen other people's movies, when you go from one scene to the other scene, sometimes there's some effects that appears. This is what transition effects can do for you. And how do you add that effect? It's pretty simple. If you look at the two squares we have at the bottom, do you notice there's a white colored rectangle chain link there? That chain link actually represents the effect that you can add on between these two videos. And all you need to do is just use your finger and tap on that little rectangle there. So I'm going to just tap on it. And once you tap on it, you realize that it shows a whole series of these random icons that maybe you and I don't even understand. But what they do is that each of these icons actually represent a different effect that you can add onto your video. So just for example, if I just tap on a random one, I'm just going to tap on this one. Do you see what happens? It kind of like bursts into the next scene. Or let's say I try another one here that has an arrow pointing down. Now you can see the video sliding down from the top to bottom, right? In fact, there are so many different effects. If you start scrolling through or sliding your fingers from right to left, oh, let's see, there's this new one here. In fact, Meitu adds on many new effects along the way. So as you know now, it's the Mid-Autumn Festival, right? So they have a transition effect with the moon with the rabbit flying across. So you can try this now. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna just leave this here. One of my favorite effects here is actually this thing that is a flying stars. So let me see if you can find it. There. There you go. It's over here. You can see there's so many effects that you can play with. So do spend some time and just go through all of them and see which one you love. You can in fact add effects in between every single video you have. But since it's a Mid-Autumn Festival, I'm going to just use this for our effect today. Ta-da! That's really, really cool. And of course, like what I mentioned earlier, once you have finished the effect or you have added that addition or the change, remember to go to the bottom right and look for the tick to complete that step. Just like that. Okay. So now we have completed three different effects here. So one is actually our speed button, and then we have our reverse button, and also our transition effects. And of course, now we have done all these changes, we want to save this video and share with our friends. I'm going to show you a simple way to do it. Now we can go to the top right and just tap on the button that says Save and Share. So I'm going to tap on it. Here you can see it starts to save your video for you. And just take note, when it's saving your video, once it's done, the whole project will still remain while your video will be actually saved into your gallery itself. But if you're using an Android phone, just be careful. It may be saved into a folder that's called Meitu. So just look for that folder if you can't find it in your gallery. Here you can see the last page that we reached. So when you reach this page, congratulations, that means your video is complete and saved. Sometimes over here, you may see a pop-up of an advertisement. Just be careful. look for like a cross sign or the word close to close that advertisement, and you'll be fine. And of course, you can see at the bottom row, there are some icons here that you can see that you can share on the social media like Facebook, WhatsApp, or Instagram. Of course, I'm not going to do it now. What I will advise you to do is, of course, to go back to your album, right, and just take a look at it one last time, just in case there's something, a mistake they have done there. So if you are finished with this step, you can actually tap on the little house on the top right. This will take you back to the main screen. And I think some of you may have this question that, hey, teacher, if I've already done this video, can I still do any more edits? The answer is yes. And how can you do it? You can just go back to video editing button, like what I'm going to do now. Just tap it. And remember, when you tap this, it takes you to the gallery. But there's one button that we didn't tap on earlier. If you look at the top row again, remember the four words we see, all video, photo, and video draft. Video draft is actually where all our projects are stored. So if you tap into video draft now, in fact, you will see every single project that you have done. So you can see I have tons of different projects here. And of course, how do you know this, what project to choose? Just look at the timing of when it was saved. So the last time that I saved, which is just right now, which is 2:30. So you can see it's the one that's on the top left. I'm just going to tap on it, and you can see the whole project now comes back again. And you can go to every single point of your video to do any further edits as you want. So it's a pretty good system, allows you to actually redo anything you have done wrong. So not to worry to make any mistakes. It's important that you actually try and give it a try, and so you can learn from this. So, thank you very much for listening to these three different functions that I'd like to share with you today, and especially through the Meitu app. We'd like to put it down to the floor to see if you have any questions that you'd like to ask about the Meitu app itself. So it's the Q&A time. Okay. Yes, and in fact, I just received the first question. The question is, what is the longest duration of video you can make? So actually, this app is for you to do short videos. So the longest video duration is about 5 minutes. So just be careful when you use the videos. Do not put in a video that is like too long or too huge in size. Try to use smaller video clips, like maybe a few seconds to a few minutes. That's all. Second question I see, how to add sound effects relating to the video at appropriate points in the video? That's a very good question. You can do that by adding the music option. So there is a music option in there that allows you to add your own voice over sound effects. So you can actually choose a specific point and add that sound into it. But it may not be the best way using Meitu. Maybe you have to consider other apps for that. Next question that I see. May I know, can use this Meitu app? Can you do a big head effect? May not be able to, but they do have certain very interesting augmented reality effect that can add like maybe a pair of glasses into your face while you are in the video. So it's pretty interesting. And of course, you can learn that more in our classes. The next one I can see, can you add music? How about adding music? Yes, no problem. You can definitely add music. And can we combine two videos together? Of course, we just did that, right? We combined two videos together. In fact, you can combine as many videos together as long as in total there are only 5 minutes in that video. And I see one more question here, how to save. Yes, do you see earlier we pressed that save button, and that allows you to save the video. So that's how you do the save button. How do you save the video itself? And also, can you name the project? Unfortunately, Meitu doesn't work that way at this point. So all you will see is actually the the timing to actually allow you to know whether the video, the project is edited at which point. So we have this question here that says, in a single video, can I cut or remove the footage that I don't want to show and stitch it with the rest? Definitely, yes. And we will actually share that more if you join our classes, where we can go into detail on the steps that you can do for that. Okay, so not to worry about that. Is my original video still in the gallery or resaved after editing? The answer is yes. So not to worry when you use these videos in your app on the Meitu. All they do is to separate it out into a separate project. So all the original videos are still found in your gallery itself. So not to worry about that. Okay. Last one, let me see. It says, can the trainer teach us other app to make interesting video like edit sounds, download music, slow motion, quick motion? Yes, definitely. Yes. In fact, me too can do these too. So not to worry. You join our classes, you can actually learn about all these different functions. How do you delete part of the video? Like mentioned earlier, we have this part where you can actually cut and trim your videos. So you can actually choose specific points of your video to reduce or remove a certain section that you don't want to be seen. And you can then stitch it or put it with other videos together to form your full movie. Can you show how to add titles? Yes, you can actually add titles. That's not a problem. In fact, you can add very interesting word effects using the Me2 app to put it at different positions of your video itself. And they can appear and disappear accordingly as and when you want. So if you are interested to learn this more in depth, I'll highly recommend you to join our class that's called video editing using your smartphone. And we will share with you more details about how you can sign up for the class too. Yes. Any other questions that we have? I see one more. Are you able to show other video apps? I guess that's the question. Yes, there are actually other video editing apps out there. We have tried quite a few different apps along the way, and we realized that a lot of these apps, they have, the in-app purchase thing. So a lot of these effects require you to pay for an extra effect instead, or you have to subscribe for it. So we found that actually one of the free apps like Me2 is really good for the fact that it allows you to use all these effects and all the good things without having to actually pay for it. So it's quite a good free app if you want to learn video editing. Which app can we use for 30-minute duration? All right. So for a longer duration, I will highly recommend to actually use the desktop instead. For one very simple reason is because our phones are usually limited in storage, and also the processing capability will not be as good as the laptop. So doing a long video will sometimes cause lag on your computer or on your phone itself. So I'll highly recommend that if you're going to do a 30-minute duration video, try to use the laptop instead or the desktop. And of course, we have classes on that separately that you can join to. After editing, can I delete my original video? That's a very good question. If you have finished edited your video, the project that you use the same video for and is still in your gallery. So if you delete that, it may cause your project, remember the draft that we have, to go corrupted. So I would not recommend you to do that if you want to go back to do editing. But if you don't have to edit anymore, then I think it's totally fine. Oh, when's the next lesson? The next lesson we're going to have actually is going to start in October and November. So we'll share more details later, so not to worry. Uh, when we send Meitu videos to our friends, can they open without installing the app? Yes, they definitely can. Because Meitu app is just an editing app. Once you have saved the app, saved the video, it acts as just a normal video. So you can send it on WhatsApp, share it on Facebook. In fact, you can even upload it on YouTube if you want to. So not to worry. Okay. After editing, I delete my original video. Will that affect my project? Yes, just like I mentioned earlier. Yes, it will. So just be careful about that. Okay. For our class itself, there's a question here that how long is the duration of our class? So if you join our classes, it will be 3 hours long, and we will cover extensively all the functions that you can see in there. And so you can actually learn all the really cool things just besides these 3 tips that we share today. Definitely. Yes. And let's see, any more other questions? So of course today, because of time limitation, we can't show you every single function. So not to worry. You can definitely join us to learn more. Yes, we have a good question. How much is the class? So the good thing is that we are partners of NSA. So our classes are only $10 if you are a senior that's above 50 years and above. And also, we also allow for SkillsFuture claims. So if you want to claim that $10 using SkillsFuture, not a problem too. Okay. Will your video editing class be in Classroom or Zoom? That's a really good question. In fact, we are going to offer two versions of this class. We will have an online version where you can join on Zoom also. And we also have a classroom version if you are not that comfortable to be learning behind at home using the screen. So not to worry, we cater for both. So if you are interested, just drop us a message and we will share with you more on the classes that we have available for you. Oh, we have one interesting question here. Is Meitu an editing software? Yes, it is. And I think we have some questions earlier before that we heard of that is Meitu actually available on the laptop? Unfortunately, no. So Meitu app is purely on the device. So you need the phone in order to use the Meitu app, unfortunately. But of course, on the computer, on the desktop, there are other apps that you can use that will allow you to do these editing functions too. But of course, there are differences. Like, for example, Meitu being a simple to use app, there's a lot of different templates that you can use right away, so you don't have to think too much or struggle with doing certain effects. So it's pretty good to use actually. Where is the location? Good question. Shehu is actually located at Bugis Junction. So it's a very convenient location for you to come to. So if you want to find out further, like how to reach our classroom, we will share with you if you contact us through our number. And how do we contact us? Very easy. Just WhatsApp message us on 8809 7075, and we will share more details with you. For the email, you can send to us at hello@shouhu.com. Hello@shouhu.com. So someone asked which email to drop interest message. You can do that. But I highly recommend you to drop us your interest message right through the WhatsApp message instead. And we can share with you more very quickly there. Do you conduct desktop video editing course? At the moment, we have not yet in the coming months, but we will consider doing that in the future. So we will let you know again, definitely. What app you use for laptop? That's a good question too. So if you are using a laptop, there are many options to actually choose from. So there are things like Filmora, Camtasia, all the way to like really professional ones like After Effects. So of course, we will depend on your own requirement. You can use different apps, but just to let you know, most of these laptop apps they require a subscription fee. So you may have to actually pay a sum just to use them on your laptop. Can Meitu be used in a tablet instead of smartphone? That's also a very good question. If I'm not wrong, Meitu may only work on the smartphone itself. So if you were to install it into the tablet, you may realize that the screen appears as small as the phone itself. Yeah, so it kind of like, looks dark around, but it's just this small little screen there. Yeah, so just be careful if you're using that. I would still highly recommend that you just use the smartphone to do it. Okay? Yes. Any other questions that you see? Any other questions? Ta-da. Oh, I've seen one like is there any I'm say free of charge apps? Yes, I think there are available laptop free of charge apps also that's available. But of course, the differences between all these apps are, let's say on the laptop or let's say on the phone, typically is the kind of functions that you can find on it. So you may realize that it may be limited in terms of some functions. Sometimes if it's a free versions that you see, or if not, it's limited by timing. So only 30 days that you can use. Okay. So thank you all for the questions, and we'd like to thank you all for coming today. So if you're interested in today's topic, especially, feel free to drop us a message on 8809 7075. The topic that you've seen today is called video editing using smartphone. So if you're interested to learn more and see all the different functions you can find there, please do contact us and we will definitely share with you more on the sign up details, the class schedule that we have. And also, please do like and follow C3A on the Facebook page, and also, if you can, also like us on Xiuhu too, on our Xiuhu Facebook page too. If not, thank you very much for all of your time. And I hope to see you soon, maybe in classes or maybe on Zoom again or even on Facebook Live again. So see you again, and I hope you have a good afternoon. Goodbye.